So anyway, then I told Kate that I was taking a road trip with you this weekend, and she said she'd lock up the office early, so we could try to beat the storm. But it doesn't look like we managed that. She didn't have any plans of her own since her wife is going to an outdoor concert tonight with a couple of her friends from work. Kate found it hilarious they might get soaked, though I'm pretty sure she'll be annoyed if she has a sick spouse for the weekend. Hey, do you want me to take over driving yet? I don't mind. You were up early this morning and I'm not such a bad driver, right? Okay. That time I drove into the stop sign was not my finest hour, admittedly. But, in my defense, I still stand by the fact that it moved into my path. Okay. Just let me know when you want me to drive for a few hours. We still have about 2 hours before we get to the campsite, but the roads are quiet, so we might miss the Friday rush out there. Hey, I just saw you yawn. Come on, pull into this parking lot and I'll switch with you. I grabbed a nap at my office during my lunch hour. Don't look at me like that. It was quiet today and Kate was on call anyway. We might as well leave the engine running while we switch. Okay. Ready for the rain? Go. Well, we managed to only get a little soaked. Nothing too bad. Oh, if you reach into the back seat, I brought a blanket so you could stay cozy and warm. Yeah, this autumn weather is really cooling down lately. I should have brought a towel in hindsight, but the forecast was nothing like this when I checked yesterday. The storm must have blown in unexpectedly. Why don't you get comfy? Well, you know, take it slow along the back roads. I don't mind if you want to sleep, honestly. Are you having trouble drifting off? I can talk a little if you'd like. All these trees remind me of being a kid. Did I ever tell you about my childhood summers in England? No. Huh. I can tell you a little bit about it if you like. Okay, well, where should I start? My grandparents still live in England on a farm near the woods where Robin Hood supposedly lived. You've heard of the legend, right? Or at least you've watched the Disney version with the foxes. So me, my brother, my cousins, and some kids from nearby farms used to spend our days in the forest. We'd pretend to be Robin Hood and his band of merry men. I'd always be Robin because nobody could resist my charm. My brother would always be Little John because he was a giant. Now, Let me think. My cousin, you know, the odd one you met at my brother's wedding, well, he was always Friar Tuck, and my other cousin was... Wow, right, Will Scarlet. Then one of the girls, her name was Megan, but she always argued it was the closest to Marion because it started with an M, so she insisted on being made Marion every single time, much to her sister's annoyance. Their eldest brother would be the Sheriff of Nottingham and would spend every day trying to lock up the band of outlaws. Sometimes, I think he just pretended to look for us, and really spent the day playing on his Game Boy back at the farmhouse. We'd spend hours amongst the trees, building dens and making up plans to steal from the fictional rich to help the pretend poor. The girls would always beg for Robin Hood and Maid Marian to get married so they could make a church out of one of their dens and confetti from the dried leaves. I think we got married several times that summer, just to keep Maid Marian and the other girls happy and quiet so we could chase more imaginary bad guys. It was simpler then. Everything was either bad or good rather than the shades of gray we have as adults. I'll have to take you to my grandparents' farm one day. Maybe that could be our next adventure. My uncle's family runs the place now, but they have a guest cottage for family that we can stay in. I can show you where I became a handsome outlaw every summer until I was about 12. Then I became too cool to be playing pretend. If you go to England, you could travel around a little more too. I know you've always wanted to go to Ireland and France. You can do both. It'd be a shame not to while they're so close to us. Maybe we could see some more of mainland Europe too while we're there. I've always wanted to see Germany at Christmas with the markets, and Holland has some stunning views along the canals. They have good food too, apparently. And I know that's a major selling point for you. Are you asleep? No? I can be quiet if it'll help. You can just, you know, listen to the rain. All right, then I can keep going. You know, I used to hate thunderstorms as a kid. The sound used to frighten me, but now I think they're soothing. I used to get in my parents' bed, and my mom would tell me how it was an elephant in the sky falling out of his bed to make me less afraid. It worked too, until I was about 7 or 8. But by then, I realized that thunder couldn't hurt me anyway. I do still find the thought of an elephant in the sky funny, though. Possibility. I hope the rain stops so we can pitch the tent, or we might be finding a motel for tonight. But you'll love the place I picked out. Plus, I've made a great dinner reservation at the town's finest Italian place. It looks over the river and has great reviews. Sometimes, apparently, they float little tea lights in the fountain in the square. Yeah. I thought you'd like that, but the rain might ruin that little idea. Come to you. Okay, I'll be quiet now and let you, sleep. Sweet dreams, love. I'll be here when you wake up.